order situation is completely fine. Wrong as of now. Law and order situation is complete.
We're getting in some big news. TikTok has been blocked in India. A decision that has been taken by the government. Remember, the government had earlier listed out about 42 Chinese apps as essentially dangerous. TikTok, which operates out of China, has now been blocked in India. In fact, this comes in at a time when the Indian government has essentially taken a hard look at how Chinese apps have been being misused. And the fact that TikTok has now finally been banned, this after 42 mobile applications that were basically under the scanner, which the government essentially believes had the potential to carry out a cyber attack against the country. Now, there has also been an advisory that has been issued by the government. Now, finally, the government has taken this hard stand on TikTok being blocked in India. Let me go across to our executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor, for the latest. Abhishek, a big decision now being taken by the government. First, 42 apps, Chinese apps, were basically under the scanner. Now, the big decision taken that TikTok has been banned in India.
Sure, it's not just TikTok. It's about 50 plus apps that have been blocked. And that includes, of course, TikTok. Apart from that, it has Weibo, it has WeChat, it has UC News, it has UC Browser, it has Xender, it has Club Factory, it has Hello, it has Share It, of course, TikTok, and then Kwai, Vigo Video, Rumby. I mean, I have the entire list, DU Browser, Clean Master, Cheetah Mobile, Baidu Translate, Baidu Map, Wonder Camera. The list goes on. The exact list is above 50. In a while, we will share. I mean, in fact, the desk can put out the list that has been shared. Essentially, this is based on a lot of requests that were coming in that these Chinese apps act as Trojans, and essentially they steal data. They lead you to a situation where whatever you share is also taken on Chinese servers. For example, there's a think tank called Yusanis Foundation, which is a geopolitical and security affairs organization, and they had written to the Prime Minister that TikTok should be banned completely. There are about 50 crore smartphone users, and the TikTok is about 200 million strong in India, and it has overtaken YouTube, and that whatever is put on TikTok, it's a Beijing-based technology company, ByteDance, which owns TikTok, and the entire data is shared on Chinese servers, and the Chinese government, essentially the Chinese Communist Party, has control over whatever goes on TikTok. It was a security threat. Apart from that, there was agency reports, Shawan, about all these Chinese apps using geo-targeting, facial recognition, and pattern projection, and thus gathering intelligence through these apps on India, on Indians, and going into a lot of profiling, chatting, and psychological profiling, and data mining through these apps. And that is why the Ministry of Home Affairs, through a notification, has now released a list of these 50 plus apps which are owned by various Chinese companies, and TikTok, of course, is one of them, which stands banned throughout India beginning tomorrow.
Well, what's important to also point out here, Abhishek, is that there was a list that was essentially drawn up by the Ministry of Home Affairs talking about these very applications, Chinese applications that uses malicious, or rather a malware, is what we're given to understand. Now, finally, this decision has been taken by the government that these apps would be banned. Is there any discussion whether at all there would be more apps or any Chinese origin apps that are going to be banned further, more than this list that has already been issued?
Shawan, this by itself is a very comprehensive list. I believe almost entire universe of the Chinese apps which were suspected to be under the scanner of intelligence, suspected to be gathering intelligence on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party and were under the scanner of intelligence agencies have been brought in this notification and banned. Remember, a lot of agencies had raised doubts about these Chinese apps actually acting as surveillance tools for the Chinese and the Chinese army, its PLA, and the Chinese Communist Party. And TikTok obviously was one of them. It was being used to gather home addresses, personal data and in fact there was internal memo, for example, in the Indian Army that officers should not be using TikTok, or even their family members should not be using TikTok. This memo had come in about a month and a half back, and we have seen post the Ladakh imbroglio and the standoff that is going on between India and China. The government of India has decided that we will move in a direction where the Chinese understand that there would be costs to the belligerence that they are showing. So I believe this is just a beginning, and this notification of the Ministry of Home Affairs is a move in the direction to make sure that the Chinese get a message that it cannot be business as usual. As I said, Shawan, TikTok at about 200 million has more users than YouTube, an equivalent video sharing app of the Google family, from the Google. And while the Chinese ban Google in China, they are exporting TikTok around the world, and that's serious because intelligence agencies have recently suggested to the government that these should be banned because they are being used for geo-targeting, facial recognition, and other intelligence data gathering through cookies, through metadata, through device identifiers, IP address, and other tools which are available through algorithmic mechanisms that are embedded in these softwares and these apps. So I believe it's a very strong message that the Modi government has really sent, Shawan, to make sure that the Chinese understand that India means business this time, and this breach of understanding, protocols, agreements, and trust that has happened in Ladakh is not going to be tolerated.
Well, I'll request Abhishek to stay on. Joining us also in this broadcast is my colleague, editor Niranjan. Niranjan, just to put this into perspective, there was also an advisory that was issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs, basically talking about how this could be detrimental as far as data security is concerned. But a big message being sent out by the Modi government saying that this time we are going to walk the talk.
Shawan, that's correct. And I want Abhishek also to stay with us, Shawan, because I've just accessed the list of 59 apps. As we know, at this minute, as of this minute, these 59 apps are banned. Shawan, before I read out the details, I think the writing was on the wall because the Prime Minister in his address on Sunday, that's yesterday, also made it clear that it's about time that you go loud and be loud about vocal for local and make sure that you send a loud message. I think that was a hint that he gave out yesterday. Let me get you the other bit of breaking news that we're getting as I read out the 59 list of apps. Getting in some more breaking news now. Abhishek is also gathering some more information that there is a Home Ministry notification as well. The Home Ministry notification, I'm going to read out from that. That's the breaking news update. The Modi government has banned more than 50 apps. 50 apps. 59 in all for national security considerations. This is going to have very big ramifications, Shawan, because if you look at the collective number of people, the sheer number of subscribers of all these apps in India, it's going to easily cross 500 million. If you go and if you try and calculate the total number of users for each of these apps. Let me read out. Abhishek has send us the full details. I think people want to know what app is banned. I'm going to read out straight from the details that is available to us. It's very important to read out the details because this affects a lot of people. And let me tell you, on top of that list, number one app that has been banned by the government is TikTok. TikTok banned 200 million and more in India. TikTok banned. Share It app. Many people across India, especially Android users, use it. Banned now. Kwai banned. UC browser banned. Baidu Map banned, Sheen banned, Clash of Kings banned, DU Battery Saver banned, Hello, banned. Likey app, banned. UCam makeup, banned. MI, that is a Redmi, the MI community, the Me community, banned. CM browsers, banned. Virus cleaner, banned. Apus browser, that's APUS browser, banned. Romwe, that's ROMWE, banned. Club Factory, banned. Newsdog, banned. Butry Plus, that's BUETRY Plus, Butry Plus, banned. WeChat, completely banned. UC News, banned. QQ Mail, banned. Weibo, the app has now been banned by India.
Right.
Zender, QQ Music, QQ Newsfeed, Bigo Live, Selfie City, Mailmaster, Parallel Space, Me Video Call, Xiaomi. Xiaomi has a huge presence in India. Even the Me Video Call of Xiaomi, the telephone, the mobile phone maker, has been banned. WeSync, banned. ES File Explorer, banned. Viva Video, banned. Me Too, banned. Vigo Video, banned. New Video Status, banned. DU Recorder, banned. Vault Hide, Cache Cleaner, DU App Studio, DU Cleaner, DU Browser, Hago Play with New Friends, Cam Scanner. Cam Scanner is a very popular app. Banned. Clean Master, Cheetah Mobile, Wonder Camera, Photo Wonder, QQ Player, WeMeet, that is WE Meet, Sweet Selfie, Baidu Translate, VMate, QQ International, QQ Security Center, QQ Launcher, uVideo, VFly Status Video, Mobile Legends, DU Privacy, 59 apps, and I think at some point in life, all of us have at some point, Shavan, used one of these apps.
Well, Niranjan, what's also important to point out here is that why exactly are these apps that have been banned? And this is what the government tends to say, that these apps are essentially engaged in activities which is prejudicial to sovereignty and integrity of India, defense of India, security of the state, and public order. It also, this particular message that we are basically getting in from the Ministry of Home Affairs with regards to what was the reasons behind the government taking this particular decision. They have actually received multiple inputs, be it the intelligence agencies that have been providing this input, that how these apps, these Chinese apps, have been using the data, and this could be a breach of data security in itself, and that is one of the primary reasons why the government essentially is acting on it. I would also like to quote from this particular document that has been accessed by our colleague Abhishek, which goes on to read that Ministry of Information Technology has received many complaints from various sources, including several reports about misuse of some mobile apps available on Android and iOS platforms for stealing and transmitting users' data to an unauthorized manner to servers which have locations outside India. That in itself is very, very important, Niranjan, because this has been a huge concern.
Yeah.
Just last month, when the Ministry of Home Affairs had issued this particular advisory, especially asking all army personnel and people who are basically part of the security apparatus to basically delete all these apps, because there was this huge fear that perhaps there could be data that could be stolen, and especially data that could be transferred to certain servers outside the country. And that's the reason why the Modi government finally taking a big decision, banning over 50 Chinese apps. Niranjan, if I can also get a quick word from you with regards to the list that you've already accessed, the entire list of the Chinese apps. This is also that I was asking Abhishek to elaborate on. Are we really expecting the list to be enlarged? There could be more number of apps or more number of companies that could basically come under the scanner?
I'll also, I'll talk to Abhishek after this. Two companies that come to mind, two apps that are from China and very, very hugely popular, like TikTok, immediately come to mind. One is Zoom. The second is PUBG. One is Zoom, the second is PUBG, not on this list. So yes, you have a very relevant question when you ask whether this list could be enlarged. But I think, Shavan, so many heads of state have been talking about taking action against China. I think India has shown the way that it will walk the talk. The Prime Minister in his address in Man Ki Baat, we were there in the newsroom yesterday. When he spoke, he specified, he spoke about Ladakh. He said, anybody eyes our land, we will stare back at them and we will send them a loud message. And he immediately followed that up. His next line was that, people have already started. They want local, they want to use local products, and they are promising me that they will be vocal for local. And I think when he said that it's time that India starts relying on the Indian market, Indian products, his message was clear. And I think when you just see this list, no other country that is spoken about China, Chinese products complained, from Europe to Australia to America. Nobody has taken a step like this to ban Chinese apps. And I'm going to tell you that if you look at the cumulative number of subscribers, I will get you the exact number of subscribers in a few minutes from now. If you calculate the number of subscribers to each of these apps, if you just calculate the number of total subscribers that they have, it will be more than 1 billion. And I can tell you that this is going to be a big setback for China, a huge economic setback. But because most of these companies have large economic stakes in India, and yeah, and you spoke about the security aspect. There are more details that we're picking up about the security aspect as well. On that note, I'll take a short break. We have to take a very short break. We'll come back with the list of 59 Chinese apps blocked. 59 apps blocked. It's an unprecedented move by India, walking the talk on China, sending a straight message.